Tonight on Ctv3 News, a record second payment for cañeros, $5 more than last year's price. What does the future of the sugar industry look like? ASR says it is concerned about yields. The chairman of the Red Bank Village is accused of rape, and the Agri platform is relaunched under BMDC. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024.
The BTIA Orange Rock chapter does it once again with the 7th Annual Tourism Expo. Come out on Saturday, August 24th, 2024 as of 10 a.m. at the Orange Rock Central Park and get great deals with BMDC, Hello by Belize, Enchantment, and much more. Or visit informational booths including BTIA, RFNG, BTB, and Digi. There will be lots of foods and drinks to choose from. Throughout the day, embrace our melting pots of culture with presentations from the Palmar Dance and Cultural Group with their Baile de la Cabeza, and a special demonstration by the Kinichaha Pokta Pok team and a Baile de Machete. Enjoy the dynamic musical entertainment by the Super Furia Band along with other local artists such as Tiny Melodies and Daddy Flow. Ignite your pre-September celebration engine and come out to BTA's Orange Rock Tourism Expo from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, August 24th. See you there. This event is brought to you in partner by Orange Rock Town Council, Central Communications Company Limited, Diamond Sponsors, Belize Tourism Board, Belize Marketing and Development Corporation. Gold sponsors, DigiOne, Beltrade, Atlantic Bank Limited, Quasar Security Limited, DFC. Silver sponsors, Atlantic Insurance Company, RFNG, Madisco, Zeta Purified Water and Ice, Victoria House Resort and Spa, GSCOM, Program for Belize, Cocina Sabor, Oceana, Panificadora La Popular, and Quartz.
Vacancy. A vacancy exists at Centaur Communications Corporation Limited for a video editor videographer in the media department. As a video editor videographer, you will be responsible for capturing and editing video content for various platforms, including social media, websites, and promotional campaigns. Key responsibilities: capture high-quality video footage for various projects, including interviews for news and morning show, events, and promotional materials. Edit and assemble footage into polished final products, incorporating graphics, sound, and effects as needed. Assist in the broadcasting of the morning show and evening news. Collaborate with the creative team to brainstorm and develop concepts for video projects. Manage multiple projects simultaneously, ensuring deadlines are met and quality is maintained. Qualifications: you must possess experience as a videographer and video editor, proficiency in video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Audition, and Photoshop, experience with camera equipment and lighting setups, eye for detail, ability to work independently and collaboratively in a fast-paced environment, ability to work flexible hours, excellent communication and organizational skills. Willing to learn vMix, TriCaster, Data Video, and vMix UTC if no experience. Interested applicants may submit a letter of application along with their resume, 2 letters of reference, and a police record no later than Friday, August 30, 2024 to Human Resources Manager, Central Communications Corporation Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk Town.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Northern sugarcane farmers today received some much-needed good news as they collected second payment for the 2023-2024 crop season based on a record high price estimate of $75.20. A release from BSI-ASR confirms that based on improved global market prices, coupled with strategic investments by the industry, Farmers received the highest payment to date, which is $5 more than last year's record prices. The good news, according to BSI ESR, is based on a number of factors, including smart investment and market strategy by the mill.
This second price estimate of 75.20, as we highlighted in the press release, is a new record. The previous record was last year at 70.22, and the previous one to that was in 2015. I think all of this demonstrates the benefits of some of those investments that we've made to improve the value of the sugar that we were producing, and also to lower the logistics costs. It's also been complemented by an improvement in the past year in global sugar prices. So all these factors have contributed to a new record payment, which we hope will translate to farmers utilizing these funds to do some of the best practices that we've been advocating for, which is replanting fields, which are some of the lowest yields in the world, taking advantage of new programs that are coming on stream, such as Agri, which the company launched late last year, the Green Climate Fund grant that is being implemented through the 5Cs to again introduce new varieties. We hope that with this additional disposable income, farmers will be able to have some resources to put it to good use and help improve the long-term viability of the industry. So it's a good day for the industry. Again, it's a new record in terms of the second payment that is being issued, and the final payment, which is due the first Monday of November. We do believe that there is also potential for upside there.
Now, where today's second payment is much welcome news for the industry, Finance Director for BSI, Sean Chavarria, says farmers may have received even higher returns if not for poor cane quality experienced this year, which were exacerbated by continued interruptions to the crop season.
I don't have exact numbers, but if you compare, for example, to last year, this year we milled about just over 40,000 tons more sugar cane, but we produce a little less sugar. So the ratio of tons cane to tons sugar was worse this year compared to last year. So technically, we could possibly have obtained at least maybe 3,000 to 4,000 tons more sugar from the cane if we had maintained a similar quality. That would have certainly translated into much more revenue and a better cane price for farmers. And so while I don't have an exact number, that just gives an indication of the potential upside that the industry could have had if we were able to maintain a quality at least similar to last year. And consider that last year, we've had much better years in terms of cane quality. We've had years where we've had TCTS ratio of below 9. And those have been, the cane prices those years were positively impacted due to that. And so that's an opportunity that exists today. If we can try to ensure that the harvesting practices that are being deployed are improved, we could, from the same cane, ensure that we're getting more yields, and that will result in better sugar prices.
With the global trends on the rise for sugar cane, Chavarria says the industry must now focus its energy on improving productivity and yields, which continue to be among the lowest in the entire region.
It should be. And to be fair, I think it's one that is starting to resonate with, the stakeholders. So more and more stakeholders are talking about this issue, and these programs that are now coming on stream, including the grant from the Green Climate Fund, that's one of the issues that will be tackled through that program. And it's being done in conjunction with building climate resiliency, because we're going to be introducing new varieties that are climate resilient, renovating these fields. And so renovating fields means that you will expect to see better yields and you will have better varieties. And so what is expected in a few years when these projects are implemented, farmers will start seeing yields from their fields. And so I think it's a message that has taken a very long time, yes, to resonate with stakeholders, but I think it's one that is finally being acknowledged, especially given you have another sugar mill in Belize, who they have a very productive farm. They have very good yields, and I think it's just showing everyone the potential that is out there to improve the farm sector. And so it's been really a slow message, to resonate on the ground, but I think it's starting to reach some ears.
Based on their commercial agreement with the mill, farmers today received 91% of their total payment for the 2023-2024 crop season and are scheduled to receive a third and final payment in the first week of November. Farmer leaders from the Orange Walk and Corozal districts took part in a workshop which focused on familiarization on the recently relaunched agricultural market price information system, Agri. Today's training session was facilitated by the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation, BMDC, in collaboration with the Rural Resilient Belize, RRB. The project to relaunch the Agri platform falls under a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Economic Development and the BMDC, which was signed back in 2022. The Rural Resilient Belize program seeks to introduce climate-resilient agricultural practices so that small farmers can continue to operate using sustainable production processes despite the stress of extreme climatic events. This particular phase of the project, according to Program Manager for RRB, Gerardo Flowers, is to improve the Agri platform and its role in providing wholesale and retail market price information.
The Resilient Rural Belize program is a program under the Ministry of Economic Development. It is funded by the Government of Belize, IFAD, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Global Environmental Facility, GCF, Global Climate Fund, GCF. And it is a program that looks at ways in which we can assist farmers along the value chain, one of which are very, very important. One is marketing and value added. In the final analysis, farmers want to be able to sell their products at the best possible price. And this is one of our first efforts in the area of marketing, to be able to bring farmers in contact with suppliers and buyers so that they would be able to know when they can sell their products, at what price, and at what quantity. We are also going to, in addition to this, establish markets in San Pedro, Belize City, and Cayo for farmers so that they can showcase their products as well. And in addition to that, we're hoping to be able to take farmers on exchanges with buyers so that buyers know what's available in Belize and the farmers can sell their products at a good price.
With the hope of including farmers from a wide cross-section of the agriculture sector, including both small and large-scale farmers, BMDC hopes that the platform will provide an agriculture hub for easier transactions between buyers and sellers.
Basically, the platform allows these farmers to post all of the different produce they have and be able to get a market almost immediately because it's going to be virtually. The platform allows them to receive payments online. So it is going to be a much shorter transaction. So they get paid right away, and then they could do the requirements to deliver the product as fresh as possible to our markets. Okay. This is in the agricultural sector. We're talking about ranging from maybe hot peppers to honey to coconuts, whatever produce that is agricultural related, we want to promote in this platform. And also we had, like, for example, the beekeeper cooperatives today. It's not only the honey they produce, but there are other byproducts. They might make wax, they might make candles, they might make soaps. All of that is part of an agricultural byproduct, so even that can be advertised in the platform.
What has been the
Okay, yesterday's training was very successful. We had a lot of good feedback. Today, again, we're having some very good feedback from the farmers present here. And as we mentioned earlier, it might look like a small crowd, but these are all farmer leaders of individual cooperatives. So we're talking about reaching to over 120 farmers just from the farmers that are here today. And what we want to do is we want to promote this even more. And we are working also with the ministry to make sure the ministry page has this available so that more farmers can get incorporated into it and make their products be known to the whole country.
The relaunch of the program includes a total revamping of the website to allow for more user-friendly features, which will permit both buyers and sellers better access.
So the objective of upgrading the AgriLinks was basically to make it a lot more user-friendly, more easy to navigate, and a lot more attractive to consumers. So we made the website that made it a lot better for the consumer to be able to find products, search products, and make the entire ordering process a lot easier and simpler. I believe it's very significant. It will definitely help all farmers, not just the big ones, but the small ones especially, to compete with other farmers on the market. And this platform gives them that opportunity because it puts everybody on the same level and gives them the same exposure all around.
What would you say are some of the main benefits that farmers will be able to see by using such a platform? I know that it is something that is being used in different villages already and now trying to introduce here.
Yeah, I believe it's going to help the farmers in marketing their products and marketing themselves. So it will give them a lot more exposure, not only in their local communities, but throughout Belize.
Eliana Ayuso is the chairlady of the Orange Walk Beekeepers Cooperative, and like other farmers, she says the relaunch of the AgriLinks program gives producers the opportunity to better market their products across the country of Belize.
Okay, this training, what I have learned is very good and very important for the farmers, and it's very easy to go along to follow up the link. It's basically mostly like doing your email, something like that. And this will benefit especially my cooperative as Orange Walk Beekeepers to promote their products also and the byproducts of beekeeping. And this is very, very, very good because this will also help all the other farmers in general because in that way you can promote your product for the countrywide to see your product, and then you have more buyers and throughout the country that will help you promote your product and be able to sell more. Because, for example, sometimes people don't know, like, for example, people from Cayo don't know what the farmers here in Orange Walk have to offer. So using that link, the whole country will be able to see what Orange Walk has to offer. So then the farmers here will have more access for sell their products. And also, as we know, most of the farmers are older people, have an age already. They are not versed with the technology, but there comes their children that can help them with using the technology for them also.
Do you think that this AgriLinks is something that your group would be willing to learn how to use and to engage with it?
Yes, very much. They will be interested in it because then we can produce, put our products in that. Also, because of my group, our beekeepers, they are also farmers, so they have different products to sell. We have cattle. Some of them grow cattle as well, so there's where they can market their products.
AgriLinks platform is available for all Belizeans to access via its webpage at agrilinks.bz. The chairman of Red Bank Village, Ken Roykal, who also happens to be a CARICOM youth ambassador, stands accused of rape. According to police, a 21-year-old from Independence Village reported to them that on Sunday, August 18, 2024, sometime after 3:30 a.m., she was taken to a dark building behind Delicious Restaurant in Santa Cruz Village by an acquaintance she had accompanied to the Happy Ranch nightclub and whom she identified as Kenroy Cal. While inside the building, Cal allegedly forcibly touched her inappropriately and threatened to harm her if she screamed. She expressed fear for her safety as another individual, known as Ralph, stood guarding the entrance. According to the report, Cal then allegedly removed her clothing, turned her around, and raped her. The victim managed to push him away quickly, grabbed a piece of clothing, and ran towards her friend who was calling for her. Both women went to the Santa Cruz police station to make the report. The Tobal Trade and Vocational Institute located in Ladyville was targeted by thieves who managed to walk away with some $40,000 worth of equipment. This translates to a huge setback for the institution, which was scheduled to commence classes on Monday, August 19th. Reports indicate that the entire burglary was captured on camera, and cops are now reviewing the surveillance footage as their investigation progresses.
Normally, my father-in-law usually would want to do his exercise, in the morning. And I believe when he, went to do his exercise and he noticed that the downstairs was, the burglar bar was open and the front door was pushed. And he thought that it was the secretary who, would come in. But when he checked the time, it was too early. And so that's when he realized. And when he went in, he realized that something wasn't right. Stuff thrown on the floor. The office was all, in a mess. And that's when he realized that someone might have broken into the office.
Shane Neal, the institution's public relations officer, is asking the public's assistance in reporting any information that may lead to the recovery of the items.
Because of that, the students rely heavily on the equipment, on the tools and so forth, to use. And because of not having the tools, we may have to push back the start of the school. Because the school was supposed to start this coming Monday, and so we will have to push it back for an extra week. And the students, the school and the students rely heavily upon the tools for the students to use. And so we're reaching out to the public, asking the public if they can assist in terms of, tools. For those who want to give finance to help us, so we can purchase back the tools. Any way means that they can provide and they can assist us in terms of getting back these tools so the students can use. We would definitely appreciate, any help from the public, whatsoever they would like to assist us with.
The police are hoping to identify the 4 culprits and are following all leads. The school can be reached via its Facebook page, or you can call Lincoln Bailey, the founder of the institute, at 602-8991. Coming up next, Orange Walk salesman robbed in the Old Capital. The robbers walk away with more than $5,000 in cash. Stay tuned.
Vacancy. A vacancy exists at Centaur Communications Corporation Limited for a video editor videographer in the media department. As a video editor videographer, you will be responsible for capturing and editing video content for various platforms, including social media, websites, and promotional campaigns. Key responsibilities: capture high-quality video footage for various projects, including interviews for news and morning show, events, and promotional materials. Edit and assemble footage into polished final products, incorporating graphics, sound, and effects as needed. Assist in the broadcasting of the morning show and evening news. Collaborate with the creative team to brainstorm and develop concepts for video projects. Manage multiple projects simultaneously, ensuring deadlines are met and quality is maintained. Qualifications: you must possess experience as a videographer and video editor, proficiency in video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Audition, and Photoshop, experience with camera equipment and lighting setups, eye for detail, ability to work independently and collaboratively in a fast-paced environment, ability to work flexible hours, excellent communication and organizational skills, willing to learn vMix, TriCaster, Data Video, and vMix UTC if no experience. Interested applicants may submit a letter of application along with their resume, 2 letters of reference and a police record no later than Friday, August 30, 2024 to Human Resources Manager, Central Communications Corporation Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk Town.
The Public Utilities Commission continues to drive changes for Belize's utility and ICT sectors by creating new regulations and updating existing laws and rules to elevate the legal framework for water, telecommunication, and electricity. Overall, our work at PUC allows for better protection of consumers and the environment, a comprehensive integration of renewable energy sources into the national power grid, assures businesses continuity of utilities, promote competition and investments, and enhances national development in Belize. PUC, transforming the utility and ICT sectors by modernizing the regulatory framework.
We're calling it a multipurpose park because it will have a variety of services and amenities. So right to my left here will be a state-of-the-art parking lot. Immediately in front of that, in 2 acres, we will have a hotel and convention center. Then on this side here, it's going to be recreational areas. On the northeast side, we're going to have an amphitheater for musicians so that persons visiting could have high-quality entertainment with our well-known artists in Dangriga.
With this project, it gives the community an opportunity to work, to invest, to grow. More revenues for the town council. That means more streets, more drains, more parks, more playgrounds. The economy grows.
All of us have collaborated on making this a reality, and certainly this will have a huge impact in terms of employment, in terms of quality of life.
This evening when we're looking at the park and the multi-purpose use of this park, this green area, and convert it to a park, again, it has to do with people, that they could bring people together.
A salesman from Orange Walk was robbed of more than $5,000 in cash and a check for more than $20,000 while in Belize City. The incident played out today at about 3:05 p.m. across from Tommy Wholesale located on Central American Boulevard. When the Crimes Investigation Branch visited the said location, they met 41-year-old Daniel Garcia, Belizean truck driver of Capital Point Imports and a resident of Trial Farm Village, Orange Walk District. Garcia reported that at about 2:54 p.m. he had just parked a 6-wheel freight truck on Central American Boulevard across the street from Tommy Wholesale in order to deliver an invoice to the said business owner when 2 men wearing motorcycle helmets on a black and red motorcycle parked beside the driver's door of the truck. The peon rider climbed on the left side of the truck and pointed a firearm at him whilst ordering him to hand over the bag before he got shot. Fearing for his life, Garcia remained still as the gunman reached for the backpack he was carrying, containing approximately $8,000 in cash and 1 check for $25,000 from Twins Supermarket. The suspects made good their escape heading into Faber's Road Extension. The matter is under investigation. A call center agent is tonight up in arms after his motorcycle was stolen from his workplace. The incident happened last week in Belmopan when Christopher Sanabria arrived at work and parked his customized black Leafan 225 in the parking lot of Transparent BPO. He went to work and completed his shift. However, when it was time to go home, his motorcycle was nowhere to be found. He recounts the ordeal.
Well, last week I come in like around 9, like my shift is 9 to 7, and I did come in at 8. Like, I do go drop my girlfriend to his work, and then I just come again to work here, and I park my motorcycle there at the parking lot, and since then I know that I have been working here like almost 2 years, and I feel like here is a security place, and I just park my cycle there and start my work, and then at night I come out to, like, my shift already ends. I come out at 7. I was putting my jacket, looking for my helmet that was at the bike, and then I just walk into the parking lot, and I see that my cycle was missing, and I see that my bike was not parked there. I see my 2 helmets that were on the ground.
In hopes of finding his cycle, Sanabria requested to view surveillance video from the area, but that proved to be a struggle.
And then said that if we can review the cameras, and then they said that they will need permissions from HR, and then they said that they will need to, I have to come in tomorrow morning to ask permissions, and then to review cameras. And then when I come in next morning, around 8 I come in, and then I ask HR if we can review the cameras, because that same night I did report it to police.
Anyone with information about the missing motorcycle can reach out to Christopher Sanabria at telephone number 633-5204. Earlier this week, the Minister of Agriculture, in an interview with the media, expressed concern over the amount of cane which was left in the fields following the closure of the 2023-2024 crop season back in late July. According to the minister, close to 100,000 tons of cane are currently still in the fields, marking losses for the farmers. Today, when the media pressed BSI-ASR about this matter, Financial Director for the company, Sean Chavarria, explained that while standover cane is a normal occurrence every year, the exorbitant amount left behind this year was a result of various factors, including interruptions to the grinding season, first by road blockades and then adverse weather conditions linked to the late crop start.
Yes, we believe that there is currently an estimate that is being done by the Sugarcane Production Committee to go out there and validate how much cane was stayed standing in the field. We think it could be anywhere between the 60 to that 100,000 tons of cane, but that is the exercise that the Sugarcane Production Committee is currently conducting. The reason why we have standing cane is due to a combination of factors. The media might recall that at the start of this crop, we had this impasse with the BSCFA where there was road blockages, and they held up delivery for about 12 to 14 days. And prior to that, the company had wanted to start the crop from the 16th of December, but the date of the crop was not gazetted by the Sugar Industry Control Board. And that date was instead gazetted until the 28th of December. So the late start of the crop, which was not gazetted by the SICB, combined with these road blockages. And then at the end of the crop, we had these heavy rains, which started much earlier than usual. From the 8th of June, we started receiving heavy rains that disrupted deliveries for the subsequent month. And so the combination of these factors is what has resulted in there being standing cane at the end. And so this highlights what we've been saying all along, that it's really important that we start the crop early and try to avoid the rainy season, because although the conditions in December might not be favorable, they will improve because we will be going through the dry season. But at the end of the crop, the situation with weather will only get worse because we're already into the rainy season, and we know that once the rain starts, it will continue on through to December. So it's best to get an early start so that we know that conditions will only improve rather than trying to wait till the end and hope that the rains don't come. And I think this year we were caught out with that, and that is what is resulting in there being standing cane in the field.
While Minister might reference other countries' practice to have the millers pay for any standover cane, BSI-ASR says they hold no responsibility for the cane which did not make it to the mill during the crop season.
That having standover cane is something that you will find that occurs from time to time, and it's not an uncommon thing. What I would respond to, though, is that in the case this year, we had roughly about a month delay at the start of the crop due to issues with gazetting and approving the start date of the crop, and then the road blockages. That, if it's 100,000 tons of cane, we could have possibly milled that in 2 weeks' time. So if you look at the month delay that we had, if we did not have those delays, it could well have been that we would have milled all the cane this year. So from our perspective, we don't feel we bear any responsibility for any standing cane because we were ready to start the crop earlier last year, but were prevented from doing so. And so I think when that question is asked, you have to look at holistically what occurred at the beginning and at the start of the crop. There were these interruptions. The end of the crop now is a force majeure situation where I think farmers are having difficulty getting to the fields and delivering their cane. And then those higher mud levels were then causing issues for the mill. So I think the situation at the end was a force majeure situation due to weather. And I don't think any party could really be blamed for the poor quality and also the difficulties in getting the mill. But the things that we do control, which occurred at the start, was preventing a timely start and then having these disruptions.
Additionally, Chavarria says BSI ASR also incurred significant losses as well with standover cane of their own.
Again, the nature of our business is one that we similarly would take a loss because while we've only farmed 10% of the cane, we also left cane standing in the field. So our operations, we left about 10,000 tons of cane in the field. So we took a loss on that too. It is expected that we could deliver that cane come December. The quality obviously will not be as good as it would be if we had delivered it in June. But similarly, we are sharing in that loss. We also share in a loss from the standpoint that the factory has a very high fixed cost. So we have to prepare the mill, we have to pay the wages of all our employees. And so our business is one that is built on throughput. And if we don't get the sufficient volume of cane in, then we stand to lose as well.
In order to avoid this situation in the future, Chavarria says the industry must do its part to begin the crop season early and in a timely manner.
Starting early in December is always a better option for stakeholders because even though conditions might not be as favorable, we know that as the weeks and months go by, conditions will dry up and it will get better. So, and at that time too, the mill is in a good position because it will have just finished its repairs. So everything is ready to be received versus the end of crop where the mill has really taken a beating after 24, 25 weeks. And so it is, the equipment is more vulnerable to all these high mud levels and poor quality cane coming in. It will lead to more breakdowns. And that's why we're saying, let's start early to ensure that we can try to at least avoid going late into the rainy season, finish a crop by June. That also helps in terms of maintaining cane quality because you maximize the natural pulp curve of the sugar cane and try to ensure that the yields are maximized as best as possible. So starting early is a good tactic. This year as well in our off season, there is a lot of investments that we're putting in to ensure that the plant continues to operate at a reliable level. And so that will also assist.
The sugar shortage, which was affecting our country earlier in the year, seems to have improved following an investigation launched by the Ministry of Agriculture to determine the key players in the contraband of our sugar across the border to neighboring Guatemala and Mexico. With sugar production now closed for the season, BSI ASR says it is working closely with government and other stakeholders to ensure that sugar supply is maintained in our country. As the only supplier of sugar in the local market, BSI says it is doing its part to monitor supply in the market to ensure stability.
Continue to ensure that we're monitoring the sales. Any new customers that are requesting sugar, we do a level of due diligence and scrutiny to ensure that it's meant for a legitimate business purpose. Anyone who wants to certainly double their purchases, it's something that it's just not granted off the bat. Again, to ensure that the product that we have in hand right now lasts us through the start of the next crop. So we certainly have enough inventory on hand to take us through to end of December and January of 2025. But we have to keep up that vigilance to ensure that customers who suddenly want to increase their purchases by 20-25%, they are scrutinized and perhaps prevented from doing so if there is not a legitimate reason for it. So the vigilance has to be there in terms of the borders and these areas. Rely on the authorities for their support on that. We don't patrol or monitor the borders. We depend on the security forces for that. And we've also continued that open communication with the supplies control unit to provide them, whenever requested, information in terms of how much sugar we've sold, to which customers, stocks that we have on hand. And we've been very open with them on that matter to show that we have nothing to hide. And we're trying to make the product as widely available as we can to ensure that Belizeans are able to have their sugar.
Sticking to the matter of sugar on the local market, BSI-ESR says it is concerned at the government's failure to address the matter of local sugar prices. More than a year ago, the millers issued a request to government to have the controlled price of sugar amended to reflect current economic conditions. For the much-needed change to occur, BSI says the cane farmer associations must also rally behind this call.
Yeah, well, for us, it has been a bit disheartening that the increase for sugar has not occurred, particularly for brown sugar, which has not been adjusted for roughly 23 years. We've provided economic arguments why it's needed. I think we presented a very rational argument to government, and it was from February last year that we did so. I think really the associations will have to speak up as well if they want this to happen. It seems that, from the mill standpoint, our voice is not loud enough to be able to, prompt government into action, and perhaps the associations might have to take up that effort. At the end of the day, we do feel that it's very unfair that you have a product that has not seen a price increase for over 20 years, when inflation for all the inputs that we use in the production process has gone up as much as 50%. We do believe that there is the price should be adjusted, and even in the price structure going forward, there should be something in place for regular review so that we don't wait 20 plus years to be revisiting prices and making adjustments, because we appreciate that, politically, it's always going to be a difficult and sensitive thing to do. But if you have a structure in place that ensures that such a review is done more regularly, then I think it makes the process easier to manage. And so we hope that at some point it is looked at, and it is looked at favorably. And going forward, we can avoid these issues in the future, where we have to see a much larger price increase to try to catch up with the inflation that has taken place.
There is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
We're gonna need all the help we can get.
Let's get to work.
Tall, dark, and horny at 12 o'clock.
I've been waiting 40 years for this. They called themselves Ghostbusters. According to these hacks, they saved the world. No eyewitnesses. And who is found to carry the torch? Descendants of Egon Spengler. You have a miner hanging out the side of a moving vehicle. firing a laser gun indiscriminately.
It has a proton pack. It's completely safe.
I wouldn't say completely safe.
The Ghostbusters are finished. Right, well, overruled.
Sustained.
Thank you. You the weird guy who buys strange old things?
Correct on both counts.
Buddy, you just hit the jackpot.
What is it?
Better question is, what's inside of it?
The parables tell of an unimaginable evil commanding an army of ghosts. With the power to kill by fear itself.
Like, literally scared to death?
We might be looking at a second ice age.
We're gonna need all the help we can get.
Let's get to work.
Can I be of any help?
Melnitz in uniform. Yes.
If there's something strange, if there's something weird, who are people gonna call?
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
We're the Ghostbusters. Can I tell you something else? What? Buster makes me feel good. It makes me feel good.
Heads up. Tall, dark, and horny at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's a historic day for Dangriga, for the country of Belize. We have been waiting for 24 years to open this port.
Today, with the collaboration of the government of Belize, I am pleased to welcome you to this groundbreaking ceremony to mark the rejuvenation of the Port of Commerce Bight and the return of commerce through tourism in Dangriga. The reopening of this port under Southern Deep Port Development Limited will see significant employment, planned for over 100 employees during the 3-year construction period and over 60 full-time employees thereafter, impacting the well-being of the Dangriga and surrounding communities.
We brought some consultants from the Bahamas who has done this in several Caribbean islands, and they went all across the country, and when they came back they signaled Commerce Bight as being one of the areas with the greatest potential for pocket cruises and nautical tourism.
Any developing country or developed country, for there to be long-term development, there has to be a good port. We're going to work with you, that we're going to ensure that this is a success, because your success is our success, it is Belize's success.
The United Democratic Party, UDP, today announced its new standard bearer for Caribbean Shores, Port Loyola, and Freetown for the upcoming general elections. This afternoon, the party officially announced Dr. Nelma Jones-Mortis as the party's standard bearer for Caribbean Shores. Dr. Jones-Mortis, a career educator and former mayoral candidate in Belize City, will now challenge the current area representative, Karim Musa. Previously, she lost to Bernard Wagner in the Belize City mayoral race. Dr. Abraham Flowers has been selected to represent the UDP in Freetown and is expected to face off against Francis Fonseca. In Port Loyola, former area representative Anthony Martinez has re-emerged to challenge current PUP area representative Gilroy Usher Sr. The Red Party named its new standard bearers amidst internal conflicts. The recent emergence of the Alliance for Democracy, led by Tracy Panton, has sparked significant debate about the party's direction and leadership. Led by UDP Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton, the Alliance for Democracy is calling for a National Party Council NPC meeting to reconsider Shine Barrow's leadership. The group argues that the current leadership has failed to engage in meaningful dialogue and has marginalized dissenting voices within the party. Panton has been vocal in her criticism, accusing the party chairman Michael Perifeet of bias and obstruction. Panton and her supporters are demanding transparency, accountability, and a fair process. They argue that the party's constitution provides mechanisms for reversing decisions made by the NPC or even the National Convention if sufficient support exists. And today, the Alliance for Democracy denounced the appointments of the 3 new standard bearers, describing the move as arbitrary and unconstitutional. According to reports, these appointments were allegedly made without the approval of the National Party Council. Party leader Shine Barrow and chairman of the party Michael Perifeet are at the center of the controversy, accused of allegedly bypassing the established procedures and guidelines outlined in the party's constitution. Adding to the uproar, it has been revealed that the executive committees for the respective divisions were entirely excluded from the decision-making process, which appears to violate the party's institutional arrangements. The alliance is calling for immediate action from the Central Executive Committee, warning that the situation can further destabilize the UDP if not addressed promptly. In a landmark meeting held on Monday, Prime Minister of Belize, Honorable John Briceño, met with executive members of the Association of Protected Areas Management Organization, APAMO, to chart a new course for conservation efforts in the country. The session culminated in the formation of a new working group designed to update key conservation legislation. The working group, set to include representatives from various government bodies and conservation organizations, will oversee the revision of the National Protected Areas System Act and the Protected Areas Conservation Trust Act. This initiative marks a significant move towards a more integrated and forward-thinking approach to conservation, aimed at benefiting both Belize's natural environment and its people. The group's main tasks will include enhancing co-governance structures, strengthening reporting and accountability mechanisms, and improving resource mobilization for the conservation acts in question. Joining Prime Minister Briceño at the meeting were Honorable Orlando Habet and CEO Dr. Kenrick Williams from the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Climate Change, as well as CEO Kennedy Carrillo from the Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management. The Prime Minister reaffirmed his commitment to addressing conservation challenges and promised ongoing support for the working group's efforts. A 3-month timeline has been set for the working group to present proposed amendments and complete key tasks. Regular updates will be provided to the Prime Minister by Honorable Orlando Habet, emphasizing the commitment to transparency and progress in this critical conservation initiative. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, August 22nd here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews.com or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.